Permafrost, a game developed by Space Rocket Games and published by Toplitz Productions, first announced back in May of this year. There was tons of good stuff that was announced ever so slowly, drip feeding little bits and bobs, going over weaponry, what we can expect to see from the game, and then finally we got a Gamescom trailer, which was absolutely awesome. Now I have missed this one, but this trailer looks brilliant, so we're going to look into it, see what the game is all about. I'm very excited for this. I've been following it on its socials for quite a while, and now there's a bit more news out there, so we can go over, see when we could potentially see the game. There is a Steam Next Fest demo coming up on the 14th of October, where we will get to play a little bit. We don't have much news on how and when that is going to occur, so if it's going to be like a just play until the demo's over, or it's just a very small section of the game that we'll get to experience. But as far as release date goes, we have nothing on that one yet. Now, if you are a fan of survival games, you know what to do. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and stick around for much more survival content. We try and showcase a new survival game at least once a week here on Wired, and we have our normal playthroughs on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and some random bits on Thursdays as well. So, stick around for that good stuff. Permafrost. Now, as mentioned, no release date yet, but it's developed by Space Rocket Games and published by Toplitz Productions. Now, when it comes to Space Rocket Games, I can't find much that they've developed beforehand, but Toplitz Productions have put out a lot of stuff, and we've covered some on the channel, such as Serum, Star Space, or whatever it was called, Space Sand, something along those lines. But Star Sand, that was the badger. Relatively decent. Some of the Toplitz games, some of them are a bit asset flippy and very basic, but this looks like it's got a little bit more depth to it, and I'm excited for that. Now, the game is set in 2035, and the Earth has been struck by some sort of cataclysmic event which has set us back to the Ice Age. We are now in an everlasting Ice Age, and our journey is to survive, find other survivors, build a community, build infrastructure and a base to keep us alive until we can figure out what the hell is going on. Now, we got to hunt and gather for resources to build and utilize very deep survival mechanics to craft your way through a harsh, unforgiving landscape and forge alliances or dominate the remnants of humanity in the chilling open world saga. Now, it is single player online co-op, which is quite good, and it does have partial controller and Steam Deck support so far. As it comes to release date, we have nothing yet, and I'm not too sure when it'll be. I'd assume after the Next Fest in October, when we get to play the demo, they'll get some feedback, and then we'll get a rough idea of when the game will be released. But I do reckon either the very end of this year or first quarter of 2025. Let me know what you think, though. Do you think it'll be coming sooner or later? And if you are playing the demo, let me know as well. Now, the Next Fest starts on the 14th of October, just 2 days after my wedding. So, yeah. Quite excited, a lot of stuff going on in October. Now, we have to survive in this game in a harsh environment and adapt to the perpetual winter by scavenging for resources, hunting rare animals, and crafting essential tools for survival amidst the unforgiving elements. Now, resource management and base building is going to be a key thing in this game, which I quite like. I love a bit of base building. It does look a little bit more detailed than some of the other Toplitz games that I've seen beforehand. The harsh environment, resources will be scarce, so we've got to manage them is critical, and wood is not the only resource to build with for warmth, and batteries of the time before the permafrost are some of the most valuable things that you can find. So obviously for powering torches and some sort of electricals behind and around your base, we're going to need something set up. Whether that's going to be a little bit deeper, we're going to get through that phase and have electrical wires, things like that up and running, because obviously everything's frosty. Surely if you bring it back to a warm environment, batteries and stuff like that are all still going to work fine. So you should be able to get an electronic base up and running and have a little bit of difficulty to it. So there's going to be a lot of that base building to it. We've got to cultivate areas that grow food, develop technology, and recycle materials to thrive in the icy expanse. We're going to have a blueprint system as well. So blueprints and engineering skills will create essential structures and equipment to make destroyed buildings accessible and useful. So something similar to what we've seen with Forever Skies, for example. We are going to need to, or Subnautica, things are going to be sort of locked behind a progression tree, but not so much like you need keys. You will need to progress to a level to unlock a certain bit of equipment to then get along. Now, one of the best things about this game, there's a doggo. Oh, hell yeah. A rescued dog serves as a canine early warning and faithful companion. Utilizing the keen sense of smell and awareness whilst roaming the wilderness, your canine companion will also help you carrying items. The game also has dynamic decision making, whatever that is. The team say here we'll be navigating moral dilemmas as we decide between rebuilding society or seizing power, shaping the fate of humanity amidst the frozen wasteland, forge alliances or stay isolated, defending what you have built. So whether that's going to be NPCs, I'm not 100% sure. They have said that there is a story-driven element to this. There's been a couple of little bits hinted and nodded on Twitter as a sort of promotion for the new Steamfest, which do look quite cool.
Will it have a story arc to follow or quests? And will there be NPCs?
Yes, there will be a compelling story to follow as you navigate the harsh, frozen landscape of Permafrost. Along your journey, you'll encounter several NPCs, each with their own backgrounds and motivations in this post-apocalyptic world. These characters will not only help you piece together the events that led to this icy wasteland, but also provide you with side quests that offer unique challenges and rewards. Each interaction and quest will deepen your understanding of the world, as well as impact your survival as you face the dangers of this unforgiving environment.
They have said there is a big storyline alongside the survival aspect of the game. So exploration and discovery are going to be things that are going to progress us through that storyline. But will we see PvP sort of fighting against each other Rust style, or will it be NPCs that we can recruit and meet and work with people and then forge larger communities and alliances with others, or pretty much raid bases and take things for ourselves? But when it comes to discovering things, there is secrets absolutely everywhere during the remnants of civilization. So land and sea are available and accessible. Traverse the harsh open world on landscape, by vehicle or on foot. So that's quite cool. I like the idea that there's vehicles. There's also going to be certain zones that are locked, which once again we will need better gear for, such as cold zones that will see really tough climate and where the permafrost has hit the worst. So things there are going to be tough, but that is where you'll find some of the best resources and loot to create some of the better stuff in game. We're also going to need to preserve the life that we find, maintaining characters' capabilities to avoid hypothermia, managing equipment and resources to cope with the demanding climate, as well as creating the perfect areas to farm and store resources such as food and growing crops. We're going to need a lot of work putting in to make sure these crops can survive. So I'm excited for that. That looks quite cool. Sounds very interesting. There's also a very deadly combat system, apparently. So defending against threats using primitive weapons or impressive firearms, which we have seen a couple of. So far in the trailer, we've seen a hunting rifle, a couple of little bits that are melee, which are quite cool, and we'll be using those to sneak up on enemies and take them down, or go in through an all-out fight. You can do that as well with friends in online co-op, where you'll be able to do the missions, scavenge, craft, build, and survive, utilizing resources to forge an existence in the sub-zero climate. So that does kind of answer the question of, looks like just the online co-op and not the PvP aspect. So we will be forming alliances and building communities with the NPCs, which I do think is a better way, because that way you've got control, you can get everything sorted and manage bases how you want and how things are going to be. How that's going to work, though, I don't know. Will we see things like trade routes? But it does look quite detailed. I do like the look of it. The trailer looks cool. Some of the newer content that's been playing in the background is from Twitter, so the video quality isn't the greatest, but that looks really good. I'm very excited to see how this progresses. I can't wait until the next fest, which is a little under 4 weeks away now. Now, will you be playing it in Steam's Next Fest? Let me know in the comments down below. For now, though, we're going to wrap that one up there. I've been Wyatt. You've been awesome. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.